Our De'Aaron Fox is perfect.
I'm the source now. Very surprising breaking news here at the Slightly Biased News Network. We can't believe we have this news to share to you. This is one of the more shocking things I've seen in quite some time. The Memphis Grizzlies have announced they have parted ways with head coach Taylor Jenkins. Taylor Jenkins has been fired by the Memphis Grizzlies on March 28th, weeks away from the playoffs. I'm at a loss of words. I'm at a bit of a loss of words here. What are we missing? He is away from the team due to a death in the family where people reporting he's fired. Chris Hayes just reported that they're parting ways. Grizzlies, Mark Stein, just now. Grizzlies have stunningly announced the dismissal of coach Taylor Jenkins. He got fired. What the absolute fuck? Yeah. I mean, there's clearly way more to this story. If you follow any Grizzlies fans, you know that they've at times been frustrated with him, but I don't think. I mean, how can you fire him in March 28th? I mean, this is just. What? All because Jaren Jackson can't rebound? I mean, what? I want to stay on this a little bit because we have to hear something somewhat soon about this, right? So I'm wondering. I'm looking just at the Grizzlies subreddit. I'm just wanting to see if maybe there were storylines along the way that we missed. They're saying I was all for moving on. Not surprised it happened. What the fuck? I don't hate the decision, just the timing. Why would you not wait until the end of the season? I mean, they're celebrating it in the subreddit. So, wow. Maybe the locker room was lost. I mean, dude, doing this on March 28th is shocking. Shocking. This is what Mavs fans wanted so late in the season last year. Bane told me he lost the locker room. Bane told you? All right, we got an exclusive source here in the chat. No, this doesn't. I mean, this is like you start to hear, look, Budenholzer, assuming the Suns get a somewhat early exit. Budenholzer feels like a dead man walking. Those are the type of reports you hear leaking out over the course of the season. Oh, they don't like Vogel with the Suns last year. Like, oh, man, they don't like him really. Like, yeah, we'll see. You know, the players kind of laughed whenever he tried to get into it, right? You hear those reports as like, oh, that guy's getting fired. That guy's getting fired in the offseason. Just to do it on March 28th is, wow. I mean, that's insane to me. Fifth longest tenured coach in the NBA, by the way. I mean, they've struggled. They definitely struggled lately. I think if you watch this Grizzlies team at all, it's fairly obvious. It's fairly obvious that they're not a team that's serious in championship contention this year. But they're the 5 seed right now. You know, they're like holding down a playoff spot comfortably. Like they're going to be a top 6 team comfortably. Man, that does start to. I'm not gonna lie. I'm now immediate gut reaction. I'm starting to wonder. We talked early in the season about their crazy rotations, how they would go 10, 11, 12 deep at times. Starting to wonder if maybe that caused a point of contention with the front office. I'm wondering if maybe this Ja Morant situation over the last 2 years, just, you know, you can't rely on him to play. Is there something there? Is there sort of a rift there? I'm now kind of looking at their future. A bad loss to the Thunder last night. Jesus. Check out Taylor's post-game comments. All right, where can I find them? Memphis's GM, Zach Kleiman. I'm genuinely appreciative of Taylor's contributions to this team and the city over the past 6 seasons. This was a difficult decision given the consistent, intangible development of our players and overall success under Taylor's leadership. I wish Taylor the very best moving forward. So last night, the Grizzlies and Thunder Grizzlies were up by 2 points with 7:41 left in the fourth quarter. And in the span of 5 minutes, OKC was up by 20 points. The Thunder outscored the Grizzlies 34-15 in the fourth quarter. They're only up 2. It's not that big of a lead. No. But, I mean, losing on the road to the Thunder, being up 2, 7 minutes left in the fourth quarter is not, you know, that's whatever. It's in 5 minutes, you're down by 20 points. That's bad, right? Taylor Jenkins post-game comments. I mean, this is insane. I mean, this is actually crazy, honestly. Memphis Grizzlies YouTube. I mean, is this going to be worth watching? Dead man walking. Hey, it's our guy.
We turned the ball over too much. Obviously, it was 99-99. Dort hits a couple of
This is Taylor Jenkins' post-game press conference last night.
threes. We just had some empty possessions that didn't go our way. I think we had like 14, 15 points off our turnovers. That was definitely the turn.
Now, it seems like you all did battle as far as the fourth time seeing OKC. Are you more impressed with, even though we lost, more impressed with how your team played today other than those 3 previous games?
Yeah, I mean, I think progressively every game that we've played against them, we've shown better fight. Love the fight from the group tonight. Very encouraging. Obviously, fourth quarter was, probably everyone's natural takeaway, but what we did for the first 3 and change was awesome. I thought our discipline, our physicality was great. Obviously, Shea's a heck of a player. They got a deep team. They've got a lot of answers for a lot of things that you throw at them. But we had great ball movement, 15 assists in the first. I thought we could have had some more in the second. Obviously, the turnovers, bit us in, the fourth quarter. So overall, very encouraging, especially the tail end of a long road trip. The fight that our guys showed. We got to take away. It's not the margin of the loss here. It's just the fight that we had. That's the biggest encouraging thing.
So I don't know. I don't listen to any Taylor Jenkins post-game presser, so I don't know how this is compared to other ones.
Even playing like you all played, just Desmond just banked it, just shot just one ball.
Yeah, a lot of great looks. I mean, I even thought Tripp ended up with 27. He had so many great looks, spots on the floor. Dez had, open looks, but you got to give them credit. I mean, their physical defense, they've got a lot of great individual defensive players that, make it challenging and wear on you. But, I love the looks. I mean, Dez was doing a great job playmaking throughout the game, taking what the defense was giving them. They were blitzing them. They were playing aggressive one-on-one defense and just, wasn't his night. But overall, I thought, looks like he got, obviously, and that Tripp got as well, throughout the game were the ones that we usually get. Very encouraging. I mean, I love the fight going against the best team in the NBA. Very encouraging signs about how we came in with the right fight, and then also a tail end of a road trip. These are games that sometimes you can be looking forward to going home, and we weren't satisfied. We wanted to progressively get better. From the Sac game, the Portland game, the Clippers game. The second half of the Utah game was more reminiscent of who we are, and we came in here.
All right, that was a waste of time. Sorry. I thought there'd be something interesting there. If you take the first letter of each word he says, he's wanting to leave, and the locker room is toxic. Whoa. Oh, shit. How deep does this go? How deep does this go? Wait a second. FedEx form on this frame right here. His head is partially blocking the X, so all you see is Fed.
In the second, obviously.
Rewind that. Hold on. Rewind that. Slow down. Slow that down.
In the second.
Pause it. Oh, my God. Fed. The FBI is about to raid the Memphis Grizzlies. How deep does this go? Holy shit. All right. This is deep. This runs deep. Wow. I'm a little bit scared that we just uncovered this information live on stream. I have to be honest with you guys. I might delete this stream. I just don't know if I want this out there. I mean, it's weird like even talking about this right now because I feel like there's so much that we don't know. Something had to happen behind closed doors. You think Ja for the season news coming, but how would that relate to, and now I'm getting Americans Navy ads. Be part of something special. No thanks. Slightly overreact. Well, I'm not trying to overreact. This is an absolutely crazy thing to happen mid-season for a team that's fifth in the West. It is pure speculation. It might be as simple as they lost the locker room, things were getting bad. Let's just rip this Band-Aid off. I mean, surely that just pretty much has to be it. Suns should hire him. Yeah, come on, Suns. Budenholzer feels like a dead man walking. Like, come on, Suns. Fifth coach in 5 years. Surely this time it'll work. New Shams. Yeah, that's true. Mid-season is even kind of pushing it. Taylor Jenkins was called into the Grizzlies office this morning, was fired in person. Sources tell ESPN. Stunning dismissal. Jenkins now becomes one of the top head coaching candidates for the upcoming cycle. He had a .539 winning percentage as the Grizzlies coach. So what do we think Taylor Jenkins does? Do we think Taylor Jenkins... If I'm a team looking for a coach, I'm looking at Jenkins and I'm like, I'm probably a younger team, right? I was just thinking the Kings. I'm probably a younger team who kind of wants to establish a culture. I'm thinking Kings post rebuild maybe. Kings kind of tear it down a little bit. Spurs, oh yeah, Pop replacement. Wizards. No, Hornets, they like Charles Lee. Just goes to show that coaching is the most unstable career path to choose. Doesn't matter what you do, too many people to please. Yeah, odds are you're going to get fired at some point. What do you think the percentage is? I mean, you're looking at Pop, you're looking at Kerr, you're looking at Tibbs. I'm sorry, not Tibbs. No, I don't think Tibbs is safe. I meant to say Spoelstra. You're looking at those three. Those three probably are, and honest to God, I would say Kerr's probably not as safe as those other two, but Spo and Pop are like the two coaches that I would say are almost under no circumstances going to get fired. And then I would say Kerr would probably be next. Question slightly, top 3 hottest seats in the NBA. Well, I guess the Grizzlies were number 1. I feel like at this point in the season, you're not on the hot seat. But the question would be, what playoff team is probably axing their coach if there's an unfortunate postseason exit? Well, my God, dude, the Bucks are the 6th seed right now. Jesus Christ. If the Bucks lose in round 1 to the Knicks, do they get rid of Doc? Surely not, right? I doubt it. Budenholzer seems like he's probably on the hot seat. Yes. I think how do we feel about Chris Finch? Like, I feel like if the Timberwolves, what if the Timberwolves lose in the play-in tournament? I don't think they would, but I think Finch could be on the hot seat. Dagnall's obviously not on the hot seat. Ime's completely and totally safe in Houston. I would say Michael Malone is probably safe, but if they flame out in the playoffs, I think it's possible. JJ's safe. Well, Taylor Jenkins is not safe. We know that. Ty Lue's almost certainly safe, right? They would be stupid to do that. Kerr's safe. Finch, I think, probably could be fired. Christie, I don't think. Doug Christie's, I don't think, going to be the head coach there going into next year. And then what? The Trailblazers have been feisty this year, so I think Chauncey's probably safe. I haven't really followed their situation well enough to know how fans feel about that, but we have to imagine Chauncey's probably safe. Kid probably has the most security in the league, for being honest. Kid's safe. I don't see a world in which Kid gets fired. They hate Chauncey. I think for their roster and stuff, they've played well enough that I wouldn't be surprised if he comes back. Doug Christie's not in the hot seat because he's not really sitting down in the first place. That's true. Then out east, Kenny Atkinson obviously safe. Joe Mazzulla obviously safe. I would say Tibbs is. I follow some Knicks fans that would lead you to believe that maybe Tibbs is on the hot seat. If they were to lose, I just can't see a world in which the Bucks beat the Knicks round 1 if Dame's not playing. But let's just say the Knicks lose round 1. I don't know. I could see a world where Tibbs gets fired, I guess. What about Rick? What about our guy Rick? JB Bickerstaff absolutely safe with the Pistons. Hawk's job could be open for sure. I think Jamal Mosley's safe. They've really had kind of a letdown season. There could be some job openings for sure. I mean, this is insane to me. What do we think about Jamal Mosley's seat? I have to imagine it's safe. Billy Donovan is now safe. How long has Billy Donovan been with the fucking Bulls? Feels like my whole life. Hot take, the Clippers are the second scariest team in the West. My thing with the Clippers is I could absolutely get behind that take. It's just Kawhi hasn't finished a playoff series since 2021. Oh, wait, Kawhi hasn't finished a playoff series against 2021? Yes, and it was the Dallas Mavericks that he was fully fucking healthy against. Yes. Last time that he was fully healthy over the course of a playoff series. Now, if you were to come back from a time machine and tell me, hey, Kawhi Leonard, believe it or not, healthy all throughout the playoffs, I could maybe get there with them being the second best team in the West. Second scariest team, at least in a postseason setting. They've got size. They've got athletic defenders. They've got shooters. They've got 2 Hall of Famers. You know you have one of the greatest playoff performers we've seen in Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, I could be talked into that pretty easily, especially because I don't think there's a clear-cut second-best team in the West right now. Lots of people named Taylor. They should all get fired. Playoff Harden, such a wild card. I don't think it's a wild card. I think you know what you're getting, unfortunately. Man. This is really interesting. This is really, really interesting. I'm trying to maybe think. What do we think could be a theory here? I think leading theory is... Wow, by the way, Taylor Jenkins, Arlington, Texas native. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Something to think about. I'd say lost the locker room. It got to a point where it was so bad that the Grizzlies ripped the Band-Aid off now, which would mean that locker room is bad, right? That would mean the locker room is so bad to do it at this point in time and not just ride it out. Tyler with the $4.99 just got here, Unk, even though I'm older than you. That's okay. We can all be Unks. OKC got fleeced on the Giddey trade. Giddey, the skinny version of 77. No, I think OKC got what they wanted in Caruso. But yeah, I think the Bulls should feel fine about that trade. Another correct, slightly biased take, man. I mean, just racking him up at this point. I saw there was the Aldama and Bane got into a little scuffle on the bench. That's not, that shit happens. That shit does happen. Theory, he clashed with the new experimental offense. So that's another theory, was that maybe he was getting a directive to the front office. Their rotations were absurd. Maybe there was a clash there, one way or the other, right? Maybe. Usually symptom of a lost locker room, though. Yeah, but there's other ways to lose the locker room. Like, the locker room can turn on a coach. Right? Like the team, it's kind of like banding together against the mean lunch lady. Like a team can sort of band together against their hatred for a coach, and everybody's sort of in lockstep, and there not be like strife within the team. But yeah, it is true that there could be a division in the team. Like, hey, half the team likes Taylor Jenkins, the other half doesn't like it, and now they're clashing in a major way. I don't know, man. I think Giddey is close to graduating this Sabonis school if you can't win playoff games with this guy. Yeah, I don't know if Giddey will ever be a playoff performer, but turning a 30-year-old Alex Caruso in a contract year into a 22-year-old, isn't that how old Giddey is? A 22-year-old who's like putting up triple doubles pretty consistently and has looked like a really good player over the last couple months. That's not bad. Now, then you get into what are you going to pay him, and then does that become worth it? That's a different conversation. Based on what? Well, if you're talking about Giddey, we saw it. He was unplayable against the Mavs last year. Now, granted, Giddey's better suited for what he's doing right now in Chicago, which is put the ball in my hands, let me sort of run the show, and And that was never going to be his role with the Thunder. So leading theories, lost the locker room. Second theory, and I'm just not seeing this. Going back, looking at Taylor Jenkins' career. Coaching career. Jenkins interned with the San Antonio Spurs basketball operations department during the 07-08 season. From 08 to 2013, Jenkins worked as an assistant coach and head coach for the San Antonio Spurs D-League, now G-League, by the time D-League, affiliate, the Austin Toros. He then, in 2013, was an assistant for the Atlanta Hawks under Mike Budenholzer, then followed Mike Budenholzer to Milwaukee, an assistant there. Then was hired by the Memphis Grizzlies, head coach since 2019. New theory just dropped. Did the Grizzlies maybe get a sniff that Taylor Jenkins, that Pop was going to retire from coaching and wanted Taylor Jenkins? Here was a quote from January 3rd, 2024, from Taylor Jenkins. He's the greatest of all time, Jenkins said via Kelly Eco of The Athletic. It's an honor to be able to share the court with him. He's meant so much to me in my development, the staff in San Antonio giving me my opportunity. But every time you're going to play a Popovich coach team, it's going to be a challenge. Maybe the Grizzlies got a sniff that Jenkins was, there was some talk. Maybe his eyes were on another team. Yeah, and then we get to the crazy theories. Federal investigation. Well, we did see it in the background of that interview. I wonder if we can find any quotes Craig Popovich about Taylor Jenkins. Respect runs deep between Greg Popovich and Taylor Jenkins. This is now my new favorite theory. Okay, $14 a month. Are you out of your fucking mind? Something to think about. When was the last time an NBA coach left one team for another without getting fired? Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, I guess we'll just sort of monitor this over the course of the next couple of days, next few hours, just to see if there's something going on behind the scenes that maybe there would have been a trade right if he didn't get fired. From what I know the Grizzlies fans have been upset for a while. And obviously, if the Grizzlies flamed out in the playoffs, definitely felt like it was possible. Definitely felt that it was possible that he could get traded or fired had they flamed out. This is so interesting. So interesting. Weeks before the playoffs start. So yeah, something's got to be going on. I mean, maybe the front office looked at it like, there's no way we're winning a playoff series like this, so why the fuck wait? I don't know why a QR code just popped up on my screen. Am I safe? Am I about to get infiltrated? Is my computer fine? Why did a QR code just pop up on my screen for that split second? Did you guys see that? Jesus, man.